Hey guys, Aurora here. Today we are going to have another podcast, and this is letter comes from Wayne. He is married to Filipina, and he has shared this article to me many years ago, and I think this is worth sharing for. So I just want to share what he said about his favorite things about the Philippines. So stick around if this is your first time watching Aurora's blog. Please don't forget to support my channel by liking, subscribing if you haven't already, and please share this to your family and friends. And don't be shy. Please don't forget to say hi, leave any comments down below. And thank you for watching. So let's get this podcast going. This is what Wayne said. Anyone following my life will see my specialty is the subject of Filipinas and overseas dating. I've spent considerable time in those trenches fighting the good fight, or should I say walking the walk, before talking the talk. Such incredible times spent over the past 20 years, passionate, memorable. I wouldn't trade it for anything in the world. In essence, it took the best of me and forced it up to the surface. That which would have otherwise have remained hidden. So much can be accredited to the Filipina, God's most loving and passionate creature. She is the dichotomy of outward simplicity, yet extremely complex and many-layered on the inside. A lifetime of exploration for the man who chooses the path of marrying one of them. Hey, this is not my words. This is from a guy, from Canadian guy. So, Anyways, thank you, Wayne. Yet, one must not dismiss the country she comes from, the Philippines. It is part and parcel of the woman, that amazing Philippines filled with jeepneys and beaches and resilient people, and some of the most intensely beautiful scenery in the world. An incredible country with a much storied history, that story continuing to this day. From the story of Jose Rizal through the Marcoses and up to the challenging current times, always intrigued. But here I will focus on something a bit simpler and more important to the subject at hand of Filipinas and their country. I call the list of my 5 favorite things about the Philippines. Number 1. Do you know what his number 1 is? The women. Very simply put, that is why we guys travel there, is it not? If someone checks out the old movie Filipina Dreamgirls, the villain of the movie Ramon states, "Why did you guys come to the Philippines?" I'll tell you why. For the woman, the Filipina is the last. True woman on earth, she will do anything for you. Philippine women are very passionate and loving. They very much enjoying life. They are oriented towards the family and relatively religious. They are generally well educated and quick to learn new things. And they all tend to be fairly beautiful. Tropical beauties with skin tones ranging slightly tan to very rich and deep brown tones. That is my general description for all Filipinas, and that is why they are number 1 on this list. Period. Number 2. Their amazing and delicious wide assortment of food. We start the lechon baboy, or roast pig, or sometimes called pig on a stick. Lechon manok is another plenty food there. Roast chicken. Chickens are in abundance there. Beef is not so much. Next, we can stroll over to the local Jollibees, their versions of McDonald's, and try their yum burger and noodle soup. They do have McDonald's there, and KFC and Domino's, pizza, and etc. Or we can stick to their local specialties adobo chicken, pancit, which is noodles, and lumpia, which is spring rolls. I tend to gain weight whenever I travel there. I am not too much into seafood, but I do enjoy shrimp, and those inclined can enjoy a wide variety of fish and seafood. Food is celebration to the Philippines people. Any party or celebration begins and ends with food. It could be an offshoot of their relative poorness as a country. And since they have been relatively poor, they tend to make the most of celebratory times. Their incomes have risen a bit over recent years. 20 years ago, it was a rare thing to see an overweight Philippine person. But now, not as much. We shall have to monitor the trend to see the direction this takes. As I said, I tend to gain weight each time and every time I go there. Their food has a depth and taste I have never ever tasted elsewhere. It could be partly because of the volcanic ash of the region, and partly because of the airport place behind it. Regardless, it is amazing. Number 3. The TV. One of my first and most distinct impression of the country when I first visited it 20 years ago was that regardless of how poor the family was, each and every home had a television set. The Philippines government took advantage of that by seating a few. Television channel, local homegrown programming has flourished over the years with their own versions of game shows, dramatic series, soap operas. They import a lot of Korean soaps and overdub them in Tagalog. My favorite show was the now defunct Game Ka Na Ba. However, don't let any of this worry you. The Philippine people are well versed in English, and all of the American show be seen in the Philippines. Number 4. The climate. The Philippines is a tropical paradise set amongst a group of 7,100 islands built upon an ancient volcanic ash. Other than the higher elevation of Baguio, the temperatures range from fairly warm to extremely hot. And if you haven't had the pleasure of swimming in a tropical ocean, you have been missing out in life. Even if you aren't water enthusiast, I still suggest taking a dip into the South China Sea. Beach outings and island hoppings are commonplace leisure activities. If you want to make your ladies' family happy and spend some bonding time to boot, rent out a van, have the family pick up a picnic basket, and take them all to one of the popular beaches, all at a very cheap price. You only live once, and the memories are priceless. Last one, number 5. The people. Throughout its storied history, the Philippines people have been dragged through hell and back. Yet, they always seem to come away with a smile on their face. I haven't met many Philippine people who I didn't come away with an affection for. They are a friendly and resilient people who find a way to enjoy life. Their festivals are culmination of that spirit and their need to enjoy the moment, even when times are not so great. Personally, I work too hard, I worry too much, and I am all too serious about so much in life. Maybe one day I will learn the meaning of how the Philippine people coped through the rigors of life. And as they do, let certain things go. Perhaps everyone needs an afternoon siesta once in a while when the heat becomes too unbearable. That perhaps is one of the most important lessons in life. This has been my short list of what I personally liked about the Philippines. For me, visiting the country has always been an amazing adventure of experiences, memories, and learning. I always coach the guys that if you do go down the path of overseas dating, spend the time and effort getting to really know the woman. Be sure, and once you are, visit her in her country, her family, and most importantly, to fall deeply in love with her. For me, there is no greater experience to take away from life. And that's it. Thank you, Wayne, for allowing me to share your story to the world. And to those who's following me, thank you for listening and watching. Enjoy your life if you are planning to go visit the Philippines one day. Hopefully you can meet a beautiful woman there, or maybe your future wife. Enjoy. It's a wonderful, wonderful vacation. I took my husband there back in 2019 and we had a blast. We stayed 15 days and that was not even enough. I wish we stayed at least a little bit longer. But, we had to go back. Thank you for watching Aurora's vlog and I will see you on my next video. Bye-bye.